Welcome back, YouTube family. We're here on an awesome Thursday. I hope you had a great morning. We are going to dive into the wild, wild west of crypto today. Shiba going bonkers, Safemoon going bonkers. You know me, I love looking at charts. So we're going to not only look at the percentages, we're going to look at charts, see where the ups and downs are going, have a deeper look at this, and see where the bulls are going to run. Follow along with me to the charts. If you guys like this video, as always, please feel free to subscribe and go ahead and hit that thumbs up button as well. All right, let's go, guys. Okay, everybody, here we are on one of the charts I wanted to check out. This is bitscreener.com. Now, we wanted to come down here and have a look at the volume because I wanted this to be apparent as it should be to everybody. Volume, volume, volume. That's what we want on everything. Now, what we wanted to look at is possible plateaus and levels of pullback which may happen after this initial spike that Shiba has ran into today to look for a possible entry. Now, I know a lot of people are just hodling. You should hodl right now. Again, if you're up $6 billion, you may want to just say fuck it and take your money out. I would. But for the people that are still holding for a penny, hey man, I ain't got nothing against you. I'm going to talk about holding my own here in a second. But let's go ahead and look at some levels. Right now, this is a small chart. We're not really looking at anything that has been a very long time frame. We're looking at a 6-month time frame here. We did have this initial pop in. Look at the volume that we had. This is the level that I wanted to look at right here when we had the last pop back in between May and June. We have this level, and if I don't know if you guys can see, I know it may be really small on the screen. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. Here is the volume bar, which touched right there. Now, the pop that we just had at the beginning of October was really close to this volume bar. Now, look where the volume bar is matched up here. We actually went higher on this day from this level. Why is that? That's because here we had a lower starting price and we needed this volume to go here. Here we had this volume price, and with this volume we were able to actually move up, create a new plateau. Now, percentage wise is what I want to look at. I want to see the pullback from this peak, how much it pulled back in about a month, a little bit under a month. So here we have a level of right around, let me get the exact dollar amount for you guys. Let's see, let me get this off the screen so I can actually see what I want to look at. We were sitting, this level right here was we're going to just call this an average of 0.20. I know it's 00, but I always go by the twos, the number right there. So we're going to say this was 20. Now, if we pull back, we're looking at about 10, and then up here we're looking at 40. So we saw about a 3/4 retracement after a 50-cent retracement. Now, this 3/4 retracement is still a quarter off of this level that we were here. Now, we're going to move up here. We're going to take this candle, which pushed us up to here, created this plateau, but we did not have the plateau we did not have the pullback that this initial pop had. We had a plateau, which was initially this, and when they had another pop and another run up. Now, here we have already hit 87. I'm going to go ahead and call this 90 because I like round numbers. Let's look at a 50% pullback off of 90, which is going to put us around 45, which is going to be this level right around in here. And then maybe a 3/4 pullback, which may put us right around here. Now, we're not really looking to go all the way back down to this plateau, and the reason being is we've had two big moves instead of just one and then a pullback and a plateau on the back end. We actually had the plateau on the front end. So what I want to look for now for an actual entry for myself, I'm going to be trying to keep my eye around 45. This may take a little while to happen, and again, you never know when the whales are going to come in and buy up, and we're just going to continuously keep an eye on this. I'm not somebody that's going to buy in when it's this high. I always buy when things dip down. Buy the effing dip. It's what I do. Now, again, guys, I'm not trying to sit here and sound like I know everything that's going to happen. I never know when news is going to release. Somebody's going to come in and buy 20 million of Shiba tomorrow, and the price is going to go to $1. I don't know that. I just like looking at percentages and the candles and seeing what the level I'm keeping on my chart and my dip buy price is. For me, right now, I'm not going to buy any higher than 45. And that's if we can get that kind of pullback. Now, if we look in another week or two and we still have this insane volume that we've had in October, I may need to reevaluate that price. But for right now, 45 is going to be my number on Shiba. I want to jump over to Safemoon right now and look at some more profits. Alright guys, here we go on Safemoon. Look at the sympathy play. Look at the rip that Safemoon has made in the past few days, and look at the volume coming in. Just like Shiba, we're going to look at levels, we're going to look at tops of candles, and see what we should expect. First of all, we want to look at this candle, which happened in the month of August. We actually did have a pop-up that ran us in between the 35 and the 40 mark, and then we had a quick retracement. Now, we do have the 200 SMA on here, which is quite low, but we also have the 50 SMA, which has been following and has actually touched here and here. Now, we had a lot of touches on the 50 SMA here, and then we had a consolidation halfway through the month of October. Once this finally broke above the 50 and held for consecutive days, that's when we saw our run on Safemoon, and that's where we are right now. We are actually in this period of breakthrough. As you can see, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of Safemoon trying to hold above the 50. And this day right here, when they were actually able to get above the 50 and hold, that's when we had our momentum. We had a little bit of people selling, and then we had the sympathy move push up at the end of this month. Now again, we wanted to take a look and check other levels just so we could see what to expect and when our pullbacks may or may not be. First of all, we're going to have a look here, which I see a lot of touches. Now, we have two candles which tapped here and also correlated with the 50 EMA back in the month of July. And then at the beginning of July, we also had Safemoon go up, tap that line, and then pull back before wicking up 2 days and tapping that line almost to the T. Now, this is the 40 mark. Today, we had the 40 mark. I actually checked my wallet. I saw Safemoon at 40. I'm not going to buy any more right now. I want to see if it can retract a little bit after this weekend once they cool off during the weekend. Now, having said that, you see where this was resistance here. It popped up resistance there, and then we ran up and had resistance here. This was actually support for several days in May and June. And even look at the support that we had after this drop from May. Bounce off of the 40. Bounce off of the 40 in May 2 times. Go up. Come back down. Bounce off of it right here. You can see this was actually the close after it wicked. And then we had a drawdown into that line, into the 40 mark. So we basically had this right here. We had a bear flag. Safemoon tried to hold the 40 level, and unfortunately it just could not hold the 40 level. And right now that was still being respected as resistance until we got here. What does this mean? And I'm going to leave you guys with this. See what happens. See what happens for the next day or two. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not Nostradamus to the stock markets. All I know is support and resistance. We're going to see if this is actually going to become support again or resistance within the next few days. We have seen a few times where Safemoon has actually broken through and then fell back right here. We've seen that use support right here where it went down, touched, and then ripped right back up. Here we may see a go up, tap resistance, and not be able to hold. What we want to see is we want to see 40 become the new support. And if we have this as our new support, what we're going to see is a continuation up, maybe around 50, 55, and then a bounce, a dip a little bit below. Maybe it'll wick down to maybe 35 one day, have a couple of wicks, and then we'll see 40 actually turn back into support instead of resistance. So 40 is a key number on Safemoon. I'm going to look for a dip below that before I look to add any more tokens. And Shiba, I'm going to look to around the 45 level. I'm going to look for it to cool down a little bit, but it is definitely on my radar right now. Thanks you guys for stopping by. I hope these levels helped you out a little bit. Let's go to the moon safely, and let's buy a dog once we get there, preferably the Shiba kind. Take care. Stay green.